From ABC News, World News Sunday, here's Sam Donaldson.
Good evening. The massive earthquake relief effort in Soviet Armenia produced a new tragedy of its own this Sunday. With more than 300 flights a day descending on the region, a Soviet transport plane loaded with soldiers and supplies crashed as it approached the city of Leninakan, killing 78 people aboard. This news came as Soviet President Gorbachev wound up his own two-day inspection trip to the area. Walter Rogers reports on what Gorbachev found.
Standing amid the ruins of Spitak, an Armenian city destroyed in last week's earthquake, Mr. Gorbachev expressed his shock, saying, "I have never seen anything like it before." The Soviet leader tried to console survivors, saying there is no way to predict earthquakes. But still, Armenians complained. One man said the first priority should be to dig out survivors. Another pleaded for more doctors to prevent epidemics. Coffins stacked randomly throughout Armenian towns suggest a death toll much higher than the 40 to 45,000 estimate of yesterday. This international attorney heard a figure almost twice that high.
The number of dead is approximately, as of now, 70,000 people.
In cities like Leninakan, people who have lost everything cling to anything to give what's left of their lives some meaning. No one knows how many people are buried in the rubble, although at least 7 people are still alive under what used to be a 9-story building. Across the street, homeless Armenians sit dazed, vacantly staring at the concrete jumble which used to be their apartment building. Officials say earthquake victims can probably only survive another 2 days beneath these collapsed buildings. Still, no one seems prepared to give up hope. And as relief planes pour into Armenia, there is yet another tragedy. Today, a Soviet military cargo plane flying a relief mission crashed, killing 69 soldiers and a 9-man crew. Busloads of evacuees are now pouring into cities like Yerevan, homeless families, widows and children, seeking refuge and first aid in badly overcrowded hospitals. For some of the survivors, the earthquake has now become an enduring nightmare. These Armenian children were buried alive for more than 12 hours after their school collapsed on them. They have yet to be told that some are now orphans. Across the Soviet Union, wherever Armenians are, they can now only weep and ask why. And outside this Moscow church today, Armenians stood numbed by the tragedy, paying their respects the only way they knew how. Walter Rogers, ABC News, Moscow.
The big earthquake, measuring 6.9 on the Richter scale, was Wednesday. But since then, there have been 191 aftershocks in the region, some 25 of them measuring between 4 and 5 on the Richter scale. Incidentally, a Soviet government commission has already declared that no building higher than 5 stories may now be built in the devastated region, since so many high-rises collapsed. In this country, as around the world, people are expressing their sorrow and taking steps to help in the tragedy. President and Mrs. Reagan drove to the Soviet embassy on 16th Street in Washington to sign a book of condolences, the same one President-elect Bush signed yesterday. Wrote the president today, "I speak for all our people when I say we share your sorrow. You are in our thoughts and prayers." This Sunday, there were many prayers for the earthquake victims in American churches. And in Armenian communities across the United States, there was a massive effort to do much more. Details from Kathleen Delasky.
Armenians in America feel the pain of this disaster. In traditional churches across the U.S., they mourned for loved ones lost and for a homeland that will take years to recover.
We should join hands in forwarding aid of any kind to our people.
Nearly 1 million Armenians live in the U.S. They want to help, but they are so far away.
I'm ready to go physically, actually, there and help them.
But visas are the problem. Even doctors who have volunteered are being told to wait.
As a surgeon, I can do anything. It's possible.
For now, only prayers and donations are welcomed. Despite reports that many items are not getting to those in need, the donations are pouring in. There are almost 100 Armenian churches across the U.S., and at each one today, members are bringing in boxes of clothes, blankets, even beds, anything that might help the people in Armenia. Armenians in Washington learned that their contributions will fund 3 plane loads of urgently needed medical supplies, which will begin leaving tomorrow. Special ultrasound equipment like this leaves today, donated by American companies to help listen for remaining survivors under the rubble. Armenian Americans like Vera Devlidian want to adopt some of the estimated 20,000 orphans. Devlidian has not been able to reach her own relatives in one of the hardest hit Armenian cities. She says her pain is not only for her cousins who may be lost, it's for all of Armenia.
It hurts because you feel all of them are your relatives.
All of them were prayed for in America today. Kathleen Delaski, ABC News, Washington.
One of the most impressive, if not the largest, fundraising effort came this morning in a telethon over Los Angeles station KSCI. $2,885,638 was the amount raised in just 6 hours.
World News Sunday, brought to you by Buick and your Buick dealer.
The new Buick Riviera. It's a classic all over again.
The road has been waiting, you're anticipating the spirit you felt way back when. Riviera is back, a classic again. It's a legend once more, what the road's waiting for. Riviera, a classic returns. Oh, the great American road belongs to Buick.
Shopping can make you feel terrific when you find fabulous color, fit, and style. But when you also find the Made in the USA label, you feel even better. It's a great feeling.
Made in the USA.
Gas pain, bloating. Gas-X has the strongest, fastest relief ingredient. Painful gas is like beer bubbles. Add the leading antacid. Add Gas-X. Only Gas-X gets rid of the gas. The strongest, fastest reliever for gas pain and bloating. Gas-X.
The military commander of NATO, General John Galvin, today said Soviet President Gorbachev should actually demobilize the troops and destroy the equipment he says he will withdraw from Europe. That way, Galvin suggested, Gorbachev's stated intention to move toward a defensive posture can take on true meaning. More on the continuing debate over Gorbachev's dramatic initiative from Steve Shepard.
The commander of NATO thinks Soviet unilateral military cutbacks will improve the military balance in Europe. But on ABC's This Week with David Brinkley, General Galvin warned that even with the cuts, President Gorbachev will still command Soviet forces that are not only large but offensively oriented.
That kind of a cut will be a step in the right direction towards a defensive posture. But he will still be about 2.5 times our size, that is the NATO size, and so we'll still have a worry there.
Galvin added that while moving tanks eastward is, from NATO's point of view, an improvement, the Soviets should do more.
Destroy the tanks, destroy the artillery, take the manpower out of military service and use it in some other way.
House Armed Services Committee Chairman Les Aspin said that any way it's looked at, the announcement of Soviet cuts is important.
I thought it was dramatic, and I thought it contradicted a lot of the conventional wisdom, in particular the conventional wisdom that said that Mikhail Gorbachev could not do unilateral cuts.
For their part, Soviet spokesmen say all this American quibbling obscures the issue.
This is just an attempt to put the shadow on these proposals prompted by desire to minimize them and not to let them really impress the people as a declaration of peace, which it was.
Many Americans are impressed, but it will now be up to the new Bush administration to decide just how important those military cutbacks are and what, if anything, to do about them. Steve Shepard, ABC News, Washington.
At least 19 Palestinians were wounded today by Israeli soldiers in the latest wave of violence in Israel's occupied territories. Last Friday marked the first anniversary of the Palestinians' uprising there. And despite repeated Israeli government predictions during the year that things would soon quiet down, they haven't. And Dean Reynolds reports there's no sign yet that they will.
It looked so tragically familiar today in Gaza. Protest fires, Palestinians eluding the grasp of Israeli soldiers, the outlawed Palestinian flags snapping in the breeze. One Palestinian was wounded here today, while 100,000 others were under curfew. In the West Bank city of Ramallah, another defiant march, another fire, and an Israeli counterpunch. Included today were armed Israeli civilians wearing Arab scarves as disguise and trying to conceal themselves in a car with blue West Bank license plates. In Arab East Jerusalem, students at a girls' school were tear-gassed after a rock-throwing incident. One was overcome and taken to a hospital. Another arrested and taken to jail. Today's trouble comes right after Israeli Prime Minister Shamir issued his latest forecast that things would soon be calming down. Yet the uprising, or intifada as the Palestinians call it, continues to flare. An Israeli expert on the PLO explains why.
The intifada has created an international impact in 1 year, greater than that created by the armed struggle or terrorism of the PLO, call it what you wish, during 20 years of struggle.
So the uprising goes on, awaiting the next signal from the PLO, which should come this week, when Yasser Arafat addresses the United Nations General Assembly in Geneva. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Tel Aviv.
Afghanistan is accusing Pakistan's Air Force of shooting down an Afghan transport plane in eastern Afghanistan last night. Kabul radio said 25 people were killed, including a woman and 3 small children. It's the second time in 3 weeks that Afghanistan has accused Pakistan of downing a civilian aircraft.
Before you tackle a mountain the size of Everest, you've already made your most critical decisions. What to bring with you.
When 1,000 doctors were asked if they were stranded in a place like this, which one of these medicines would they want along? Doctors chose Bayer, more than all these combined.
I chose Bayer. Shouldn't you?
Bayer, the wonder drug that works wonders. Also in coated caplets.
Surprise. Here's the tickets for your honeymoon.
Oh, Dad, you shouldn't have.
And we're going with you.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Northwest frequent flyers earn free trips fast, so you can give them away or go away or both.
Sure, I want my vitamins, but I don't want to be here all morning. One glass of great-tasting Sunsweet prune juice gives me more iron and calcium than those other juices. Sunsweet, here's to your health.
Mom, are they ready yet? I'm still working on it.
Rice Krispies treats are so easy to make, they take no time at all.
These things take time.
But they taste so good. Your family will think you slaved over them all afternoon. And if that's what they think, well, what they don't know won't hurt them. Rice Krispies treats.
Honey? Mom,
you shouldn't have knocked yourself out.
If you love lots of shrimp, Red Lobster is going to make you very happy. Introducing the Shrimp Spectacular Platter, just $7.95. 4 ways to love shrimp, all on one plate. Crispy fried, spicy Cajun popcorn, zesty lemon pepper, and announcing our delicious new grilled shrimp. That's our Shrimp Spectacular Platter, just $7.95. Kid shrimp, $1.95. It's spectacular, now at Red Lobster. And for the holidays, call for party platters to go, ready in just 1 hour.
It's nothing new for American industry to export jobs overseas to take advantage of cheaper labor there. Car, clothing, and steel manufacturers have been doing it for years. But now a major American insurance company is experimenting with the same thing, and in the bargain, helping one small town in Ireland keep its young people at home. The story from John Lawrence.
Poor, beautiful Ireland. Its biggest export is its people. In the rural west of Ireland, in the county of Kerry, in the market town of Castle Island, it is estimated that 1/2 of all the young people go abroad in search of jobs. Emigration is the only alternative to poverty. But something different is happening here. An American company has come to Castle Island and brought jobs with it.
What is the situation with the adjustments? Do you still have quite a lot of them? Yeah, I have quite a lot.
The New York Life Insurance Company, America's 5th largest, has opened a branch office here and linked it to the U.S. by computer. It has discovered that it's more efficient and less expensive to process insurance claims in Ireland than in the United States.
Costs in the United States have been escalating in business, most especially in the insurance business, which is a highly competitive one in the United States. Being over here gives us an edge.
A considerable edge. It costs the company 30% less to operate out of Ireland than the U.S. Workers earn about $160 a week, a fair wage for Ireland. The Irish government is paying the company's bills for the first year of operation. Keeping young people from going abroad is very important in Ireland.
We want to see a living country. We don't want to see deserted villages spread throughout the country. We don't want a country which has a lot of old ruined houses, which looks fine for tourists. We'd like to see some modern industry in parts of the country where the skills are there.
In a country where unemployment is at 18% and even higher for young people, getting a job is a godsend. It means that these young people can stay in Ireland instead of being forced to leave.
Traditionally, Ireland has had a history of exporting its youth, sadly. But I think the companies like this are providing opportunities and employment at home.
I think it creates a lot of hope for school leavers, that, you know, at least that there's some hope they might get a job in town. So it has been good for everyone, I think.
So far, New York Life has hired about 50 people out of 600 applications, and they appear to be working well.
It's an ideal situation in which to run a business. They're very dedicated. They want to do so well. It's just like, tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. You know, that's their attitude. I like that kind of cooperation. Matter of fact, I love it.
One American company's experiment in Castle Island will not transform the Irish economy, but it is a step away from the traditional cycle of poverty, unemployment, and the inevitable emigration from poor, beautiful Ireland. John Lawrence, ABC News, Castle Island.
Here at home, there was more talk of how to cut the budget deficit, with the Democratic co-chairman of the National Economic Commission, Robert Strauss, saying new taxes will be needed along with spending cuts, and his Republican counterpart, Drew Lewis, opening the door a crack in the same direction. Lewis said he's trying to solve the problem, like George Bush, with spending cuts alone. But if that can't be done, he would go for some kind of consumption tax geared to a person's income, but only as a last resort.
Another day is turned to night. Close your eyes, say goodnight. Sweet dreams are on their way. All is well as you end the day. Sleep safe, sweet dreams, good night.
Sominex has the one ingredient doctors recommend most to help you fall asleep safely without worry. Sominex.
Good night.
After you've produced the yearly report in record time, after you've made order out of paperwork chaos, after you've turned the slideshow into a colorful part of your winning proposal, and seen productivity become top priority, maybe after all that you'll know why Canon is the most popular copier in America. From personal to color laser copying, the choice is Canon. Call toll-free 1-800-OK-CANON.
Honda Accord Coupe. It's music to your eyes.
Great news. I don't need surgery for my hemorrhoids. The doctor said they're not that serious. He said use Preparation H.
Preparation H helps shrink swelling of tissues as it often relieves pain and itching for hours.
Aren't you glad you didn't need surgery?
Preparation H.
I woke up with a sinus cold.
Pain, congestion, pressure.
I took new maximum strength Dristan. I'm here.
New maximum strength Dristan to unplug congestion, relieve pressure and pain.
And I'm not drowsy.
New maximum strength Dristan for tough sinus colds.
Monday on the American agenda, joint custody. It's supposed to give children the best of both worlds. It may not. Monday on ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Joining us now from New York is Ray Gandolf with today's sports news. Ray?
Thank you, Sam. The Chicago Bears clinched the NFC Central title today, beating Detroit 13-12 with a field goal on the last play of the game. While Minnesota, with the most productive offense in the league, failed to score a touchdown in Green Bay and fell to the lowly Packers like so many bowling pins. Mike Rozier turned Houston's house of pain into a house of humiliation for Cincinnati, scoring 3 touchdowns as the Oilers did terrible things to the Bengals. Jerry Friel has coached basketball at the University of New Hampshire for 19 years at a salary about half the going rate, trying to recruit inner-city athletes to a rural school on a shoestring budget. He has won just 37% of his games. But he persists, and the school has tolerated him because they both believe in academics over athletics. But now, Friel is on the spot.
Come on, let's go! We do things right. We do things with integrity. I think that by not spoon-feeding them and getting them ready to get out in the real world and work from 8 to 5 as they graduate is every bit as important as winning any basketball game.
For 19 years, Coach Jerry Friel and the University of New Hampshire shared an admirable philosophy. Education is more important than winning games. And a good thing, too. Friel's record over the past 19 years is the worst of any major college coach in the country. But 71% of his players have graduated, more than double the national average. In the late 60s, Friel was an assistant at Boston College under Bob Cousy.
He's the type of coach that you as a parent would want, your young son to play under for 4 years.
Coach that really wants to get out there and win, but also win off the court, too. It's hard to lose, of course, but I think that it's brought our team really close together.
But togetherness is no longer enough. Friel's 19-year honeymoon is over. The chill spreading over the Durham campus these days is a little colder in the athletic department.
We're not going to sacrifice academic integrity for wins and losses, but I think the two things can go hand in hand.
What kind of a coach is he?
I think Jerry Friel's a good X and O basketball coach, yes.
What kind of a man is he?
Jerry Friel's a good Christian, yes.
Last February, the university asked for Friel's resignation. He refused. Bowing to Friel's popularity, the school gave him a recruiting budget not to exceed $20,000 this season to improve the team's performance. There's an or else implied there somewhere, but questions won't dig it out.
But it's always been my policy that I don't discuss personnel matters.
Our personnel policies are such that I just won't talk about individuals, per se.
Are you willing to give a vote of confidence at this point?
I'm not going to talk about it.
Being the visible head of the program, I'm sure that the thought has passed some people's minds that maybe someone else can do a better job than Jerry Friel.
If they think that they can produce that, literally Jesus Christ, or Newt Rockne coming back, could come back and produce a winning program there under the circumstances that exist, I think they're kidding themselves.
Against the University of Massachusetts the other night, New Hampshire came from way behind to take the lead with 3 seconds left and lost it on a jumper at the buzzer, their 4th loss in 5 games.
I think they have to prepare themselves when things happen that if you don't win, then you've got to be able to handle adversity. And if it's the case with me, I'll be prepared to handle it.
The university is no longer willing to settle for moral victories. But when they come after Jerry Friel with a hook, he won't be standing alone. Last night, New Hampshire lost to Yale. 5 losses in 6 games for Jerry Friel. The nights are getting colder. Sam?
Thank you, Ray. In a moment, let the dancing begin when we come back.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for a special wine.
What's the occasion?
Well, I have this blind date.
Let me show you something I like.
Gallo Blush Chablis. It's just waiting to be discovered.
Hi, I'm Jerry's friend, and you're the wine lady.
You're Jerry's friend?
Yeah.
Come on in.
So did I get the right wine?
Perfect.
Gallo Blush Chablis. A most unexpected discovery.
The Remington microscreen shaves as close as a blade, or your money back. The first screen shaves incredibly close, the second even closer. The Remington microscreen shaves as close as a blade, or your money back. And the Lady Remington rechargeable, the perfect gift.
X-Lax presents a gentle guarantee. A guarantee that X-Lax works gently by 8 a.m. when taken at bedtime, or your money back. A promise you can count on. X-Lax, guaranteed complete relief by 8 a.m.
Should you have to prove to your employer that you're honest, and should your employer have the right to ask? This week, the lie detector controversy, plus Reverend Billy Graham on Good Morning America.
For 100 years, it's been banned in Purdy. No dancing at the local high school. A lot of the parents and most of the preachers said dancing is a sin. But the kids said not being able to dance is unfair. And the American Civil Liberties Union said not letting the kids dance is a crime. This weekend, the Purdy School Board finally said uncle. The story from Dan Noyes.
Purdy is the epitome of the small town. 928 people, mostly farmers and factory workers, quiet, conservative, and religious, much like the town depicted in Footloose, a film about teen triumph over pressure from the pulpit to bar dancing. This weekend, Purdy High students crowned a queen, but lost a homecoming game on the court. The Purdy School Board had already lost in court and was forced to finally allow a dance. In years past, the kids traveled to surrounding towns for their dances as the battle against the school board wore on. Officials still defend the ban.
Done what they did because they represent this community, and the community did not want that to be a part of the school function.
But opponents of the ban said pressure was applied by conservative preachers.
When we've got the dance in the school, we can also count on the drugs and the liquor and the sex and everything else that goes with it.
A federal court judge ruled the ban unconstitutional, even if a majority of the townspeople wanted it.
You only operate on majority rules within the law. If you're breaking the law, then it doesn't matter if the majority wants it.
The story here in Purdy escalated beyond the Hollywood script. The dancing issue provided a fierce power struggle with threats of violence. Some townspeople even feared they'd lose their jobs.
Bill Gray believes he lost his bid for re-election to the school board because of his yes vote for dancing. The town remains divided.
The board made their decision, and that should have been that.
Just the thought of having it on school, making memories, because that's where your high school memories should be, at school and with your friends.
The controversy has been recorded for posterity in song.
The school board said the dance was a sin. Public pelvic motion is the devil's friend. Dirty dancing.
Despite last night's dance, the issue is not dead yet. The school board has filed an appeal scheduled for the spring. Dan Noyes, ABC News, Purdy, Missouri.
That's our report for tonight. Tom Jarrell will have more news later on the Weekend Report. I'm Sam Donaldson. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News, where more Americans get their news than from any other source.
After 12 years, Louis Gossett Jr. and LeVar Burton return in an all-new Christmas chapter of an American classic, Roots, the Gift, tonight.
In the new movie, The Land Before Time, Littlefoot, Sarah, Ducky, and Spike share an incredible journey. Along the way, they become best friends.
Now we'll always be together.
And now these lovable characters can be your child's friends too. With a pizza from Pizza Hut, a Land Before Time dinosaur is only 99 cents. So come to Pizza Hut. Your friends are waiting.
We'll always be together.
Pizza Hut, make it great.
1980, right after Jimmy Carter left office, the hostages have just been released, and remember that they would not release the hostages while Carter was still in office. So we were in planes, and we got a hold of Jody Powell, jumped in front of the Secret Service guys and got a quick interview with him about the fact that the hostages were released as they were flying down to Georgia. They didn't even know it yet.
And when you did that, did it ever occur to you that you could be wrestled to the ground and arrested?
It did later. It didn't at the time.
Bob and Ann, the ones to watch at 5 and 10. This is WKRN, Channel 2, Nashville.
Good evening, I'm John David.